everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fashion Grunge podcast. I am your host, Lauren.
Hi, I'm Jai.
What's up? I
Sorry.
love, I love how there's like this, hey. um, yeah, what's going on? What is up, people? We are talking about Jawbreaker today from 1999. I just posted on IG stories a picture of a Jawbreaker being like, guess what we're recording today? But I don't know. Some people might not know what a Jawbreaker is.
I didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my question was, have you ever had a jawbreaker, or do you even know what they
I
are?
have never had one, and I only learned that by watching the film. So
Wow. Okay, so maybe people. Hold on, I'm gonna look now.
I
Maybe
think
people
it's an
will.
American thing.
Okay.
It's got to
Okay.
be because yeah.
Cool. Oh my God, one person has already written Jawbreaker in the stories, so that's awesome. Okay, so someone does know. Someone knows already. One person. That's cool. So you've. Oh man, it sucks that we're not in like somewhat of a lockdown because like we would just go to the store and get a Jawbreaker. I've never actually finished one,
I
but they're
don't.
literally like rocks.
Yeah, I've seen them. When I went to like the first time I came to the US, I went to Delaware to this like beach town, and we went to a candy shop, and they had this giant candy. So like I didn't really honestly I thought they were toys, and I only learned watching the film that what I saw wasn't a toy, wasn't an actual ball, that they were candy that you can eat. So
Hmm.
I thought they were. I didn't think they were sweets.
Yeah, well, I don't really know like what happens when you get to the end of a Jawbreaker. Like maybe somebody, if you finished a Jawbreaker, then hit us up because I never have.
But
I've like you just suck on them.
do you bite it or do you suck
No,
it?
you just like suck on them. We're gonna have to do some research. Jawbreaker candy use.
That's got to
And
be really bad for you. It's like a
yeah,
giant bowl of
sugar.
sugar.
Welcome to America, Jai.
I
Welcome
know.
to America. It's really just like sugar overload. But yeah, what have you been up to in the last film we did was Seven, so that was super dark. So we're dark now, but we're funny dark.
Yeah, which is kind of a nice mix, to be honest. It's quite cool that we're doing this. Yeah, I mean, I watched an episode of that new Netflix series called Unwell,
Mm-hmm.
and it was on essential oils. And I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched it. But yeah, the people should watch it. It's really insane.
I'm really
It's
excited.
it's really cool. Like I mean, to be honest, I didn't think I knew much about essential oils. Like, I mean, I knew they're good for you and that they use for like, a lot of things, but I don't really know much about it. And so watching that last night was like, whoa, like it's crazy. I didn't realize that they were well, that it was so huge in the US.
I
I
don't
th-
know about is it so huge? I mean, I guess maybe I don't know people personally,
well, this is the thing you're gonna be shocked
but
about. Like you'll learn that it's massive in the US, and I always associated it with like the UK and France because
oh,
it's just like they're more about like well-being. I don't know, it's just very different actually. I can't really say they're more into well-being because that's not accurate. I just mean
yeah.
like I think I just happened to know more people that were into that, like alternative medicine and like stuff like that there, and I didn't realize it was huge here. So it's really interesting. And
Definitely being on the West Coast, I knew about it because it's definitely more of a Western
it is, which
US
I've learned.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think there's another episode on ayahuasca and on the same series, and like that's definitely all these things that I've heard being in California. Definitely nothing that I've heard on the East Coast.
Yeah, well, that has been big in the UK for a while. So, like, obviously, I know about ayahuasca and
What
stuff.
is it? Is it like peyote? Is it like something like
It is from a plant. Yeah, it's from Peru,
that?
and
Okay.
it's from a plant. And but I remember it. So, what is it? 2020 now, like 2016, no, 2015. A lot of some of my friends and now people that I knew were already doing it. They were traveling to like Peru and like
Oh, go there.
going to yeah, or not even Peru. They went to another place, but I can't remember where it was besides Peru, but it was in the US. and they were doing these rituals and ceremony. Actually, yeah, that's right. It is in the UK. It is somewhere up north, where my friend did this retreat, and it was like a ayahuasca ceremony and stuff. So I know a lot about that. I just had no idea about essential oils and like how huge of an industry it is in the US.
Wow, I didn't even know. Oh, I'm excited.
It's fascinating. You're gonna be like
To know about it.
completely, yeah.
I've only heard of essential oils through like reality TV because one of the housewives on the show is like anti-medicine. So when they go on trips, like she makes a big deal about like bringing all of her natural remedies, and she always shows them, and she gives essential oils to her kids every day. So you
Mhm.
see her like giving these like drops under their tongues, and like if they have an ear infection, and one will be like, "I'm sick, I have a cold," and then she'll give them drops. That's the only time I've ever seen anyone like definitely on TV, but if any of my friends or family or their families have it, like they've never talked about it. So I don't know. Maybe they do it and I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I use some of them, and I have for years, but not like it's not like I'm massively into them. Obviously, like you use them for um like you put it on your wrist, and like it helps you to relax, like it helps
Oh
you to
wow.
sleep and stuff, like just like a tiny drop, but really in moderation. And also it's used, they're using in yoga a lot, like a lot of yoga studios, like when you got certain teachers actually will put some essential oil on your forehead when you are in savasana. So like I've used them, and I know I know about them, but I did not know that some people ingest them.
Yeah, they put the drops under their tongue.
That is insane. That I don't, I mean, even I know that that doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't
Oh wow.
seem right to do that. And obviously, you learn why it's not.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. I'm excited to learn about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't I'm trying to think of like what I've been doing or what I've been watching and stuff. I don't know. I'm starting to make some collages.
No way. I
Yeah, like
started one too.
oh yay! Yeah, so I'm excited to get going on that.
Oh,
And I
cool.
guess yeah, and just like watching tons of tons of random movies. I really like doing this. And I'm super excited that I found this documentary called Beyond Clueless yesterday for you to watch because I don't think we're going to cover it because it's just kind of like talks about teen films, but it's really interesting. If I'm sure people who listen to this one would probably be excited about seeing it because it literally just goes into the dynamics of like the teen film genre of the 90s and the 2000s. So Beyond Clueless, look it up, you'll like it. So I just shared that with you. So I'm excited to see what you think of that. And yeah, I don't know. I was gonna watch the Unwell series. Oh, I started watching well, not started, but I like re got back into Handmaid's Tale because I'd started at season 3. So now I'm like into it now and I'm just like, oh fuck. Like I
Too
should
too much, isn't it?
the one thing good about season 3 is that it's more of the resistance. So you're seeing like the resistance and the revolution forming, which is actually a lot better than before when it was just like constant like bullshit happening all the time. So at least now it's kind of cool to see everyone like immobilizing and kind of like rising up against this like horrible society. So that's the only good thing about it. It's not like as depressing. And then I started Love Island Australia and fucking hell, man. They're nuts in like the best way. They're like even more crazy than the UK version. So if you need any trash to put on in the background, Love Island Australia is a good one. I had to put subtitles on because one guy I don't know what he says, but everyone else I could understand. But he has a really like specific dialect that I could not understand. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. Just been trying to do normal shit, man. Just doing
Yeah.
a podcast.
Yeah, same here. I yeah, I just I the same. I haven't really quite started making a collage, but just you gather images and stuff, which is what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
I feel like it takes longer to do them on like Photoshop and stuff
It
like that.
must.
Because
Yeah.
it's not a, yeah. But anyway,
Did you get the tablet? You did
I
get the tablet,
did,
right?
I
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Do you use that?
I will be using it, yeah. But at this moment, I'm just gathering things I like, and then yeah, when it comes to
Cool.
actually making it. But yeah, anyway, it's a side project,
Yeah.
just something that's very relaxing.
Yeah, same. Like
I
it
love
needs to
them.
be some outlet. But let's get into Jawbreaker.
Cool.
So, what are your first thoughts? Like, when did you see this? I know you said you heard of it before.
I literally heard the title. I knew nothing about it. Like I never even watched the trailer. I didn't
Oh,
know
really?
like no, didn't know the cast, didn't know like what it was about, nothing. I just heard the title. I knew that it was like a film from the 90s, but I never watched it. So I just watched it this morning and not knowing anything about it
Oh,
besides
so glad that you didn't know anything about it.
no, I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to like look up anything. I just knew that Rose McGowan is in it because you told me.
Uh-huh.
But that's all I knew. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's really cool and I liked it. But my first thought was, I'm just so glad I didn't go to high school in the States
Oh,
because it just made me think about it. You know, like high school is hard enough, and I really can't imagine like having the social pressure of attending prom and like setting such high expectations on like one night, you know, and like
mm-hmm.
I feel I feel like girls are just mean. I mean,
Yeah.
girls are mean in any country to be honest, but
Yeah.
I feel that that is such a toxic environment and like mindset that kids have here. It's like so much pressure to like I don't know, like dress in a certain way or like be part of a certain group and
Totally.
it just made me think about it. I was like, thank God I did not go to high school here because it would have been really tough. And
I didn't go to like a high school like this. I went to an alternative high school.
which
So,
is
which is like more of like a specialized high school for like learning differences, behavior issues. Like so I went to a really small school. My graduating class was 14.
oh wow.
So, and my whole school there were 40 people from like grades 9 to 12. So, I didn't have this experience, which is I kind of live it extemporaneously through 90s cinema because I'm really glad that I didn't have it. But if I did, but the thing is that even within the hierarchy of my school, there was still a hierarchy and I was still not popular. So like even within a small group of people, I had like my two, maybe three friends max, and we were not the like popular kids were still defined. And even a small area, there was still acceptance. We still had kind of, that thing, but it wasn't like how it is in the movies where like the popular kids are the footballers and the cheerleaders. Like we didn't have that. So the
Yeah.
popular kids were more of like the ones who were like drinking and like smoking weed at lunch and like, you know what I mean? Like it was more like the bad kids
Hmm.
were like the ones that were like kind of running shit. And I was not that I was, I wasn't a bad kid, but I just wasn't like I didn't hang in that group.
Yeah.
So I guess we were just more nerdy and just way more into like music and like weird and arty shit, and they were just like fucking around. And but we did shit on the weekends, we just didn't hang with them. But so in this way, like I didn't have the experience of like cliques and like where it's just really huge. Although I did have it when I was in junior high when we all wore uniforms and there was still like a hierarchy with like what uniform you had and like the kids all wore like Ralph Lauren polos. Like I didn't, and I was like, "Mom, I want one." She's like, "Those are $50 each. Like you're not getting five of those for the week. Like that's crazy." And the kids had like Doc Martens, which I think eventually I got Doc Martens, but they all had them like super early. And she was like, "Those shoes are like $120. You're like 12. You're not getting those. Like that's crazy." So there's
Yeah.
still a hierarchy, like even within uniforms, that some people probably like don't get. Girls had like shorter skirts and like some parents like wouldn't let them and like stuff like weird shit like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty crazy. That's
I
cool.
had something similar too, but I still feel that the thing is I don't actually understand why they still have like proms. Like because surely that can't be that healthy. Like if it feels like it's such a oh, I don't know, it's just so much pressure.
Yeah, totally. We had a
Like
prom, but it was with other like two other schools. that were
Yeah.
kind of the same as ours. So I didn't go.
But is that a thing nowadays as well? Like having like a queen?
Yeah, I think so. In like
Really?
a public school, homecoming queen, homecoming king, and then prom king. Yeah, homecoming is in the fall. That's like October.
I
And they
just
have like
don't
winter formals and you have prom.
I don't think that it is gonna help any kids, to be honest,
No.
because that's just putting so much pressure and like wanted to be that, I don't know, like someone else or like the most popular kid, or it puts a lot of pressure on like their, like how they, or on their appearance.
Oh,
You
totally.
know, it just becomes the main thing, and I think that's really sad. I don't know why. That's the one thing I don't get about America, like that and beauty pageants, like that. I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
I think that's insane. Like I don't comprehend that at all.
I don't think they're kind of on the way out,
They
beauty
should.
pageants. Yeah, I think they are. They were used to be really big though.
I know,
But
in
I
the
think they're on
80s,
the way
right, and
out.
90s.
Yeah, in 90s, yeah. Like Miss Teen USA and like Miss whatever, Universe, America, like all those ones, yeah. It is pretty
So
stupid.
weird.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited that you finally saw Jawbreaker.
Yeah, I have to say the really cool thing that I mean, I just couldn't stop thinking about. It's like how amazing it is to see Jackie Brown in the film as
I
a
know, Pam
detective.
Grier.
She's so great.
I
I
think in
love
my note I
her.
just wrote Pam motherfucking Grier.
I know. I fucking love her. Yeah,
And
I
then,
love that movie as well.
yeah, Jackie Brown.
Yeah,
That's on the list too. I think that was
excellent.
97. So I think that that makes it. That makes the cut. That's cool. Um, let's see. I rented this in high school. I did not see it in the theater or anything like that, but in LA, one of my friends was obsessed with it and it was always on. Like he just always would put it on. And he
Wow.
would always quote it like all the time. Like he was always saying like suck it and see and like learn it, live it, love it. And like I killed Liz, I killed the teenage dream, deal with it. Like he would always just quote this movie so much.
I know. It had so
Um
many epic lines.
so many. Like I started writing the quotes down and I was like, fuck, there's just so many. I mean, I just there's just so many. But and then I also have like it was compared to Heather's because of like the clicks and like someone dying.
Yeah.
So like that was obviously like I'm sure one of the inspirations because that film was like 10 years before Jawbreaker. But yeah, so I like this film. I think it's just so dark and funny and weird and definitely like not to be taken seriously. But I definitely think if Rose McGowan wasn't in it, it would suck because
It
she
wouldn't be the
carried,
same.
yeah,
Yeah.
she carried that whole film, and her performance was just so amazing. And everyone else was just kind of like, like they're all okay. Except for Fern, I like Fern Mayo. I do love Fern Mayo, but and Violet, but I definitely Courtney is like, I mean, she's the shit. And in that Beyond Clueless, like that I was talking about the documentary, they gave out posters that night, and I have one of the posters I still haven't put up or anything, and it's a picture of Courtney from Jawbreaker, like at the end when everyone's throwing all this shit at her.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
yeah, it's a picture of her like going like like grabbing her face with the
That's
crown on.
really cool. Yeah,
And
it's
I was,
very carry,
yeah,
like a very carry moment.
yeah, it
That.
was really cool. But yeah, that's my first impressions. Do you have any? I have some behind the scenes notes. Do you have any?
Yeah, I have some. I did some
Oh, yeah, what are
digging.
yours?
Obviously Marilyn Manson is in it.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
was yeah.
like a really small part, but apparently the only reason why he was given the part is because he was engaged to Rose at that time, which I remember very clearly because it was on MTV quite a lot.
They
Like
were together for a while, weren't they?
I don't know, but
Yeah, I think they
yeah,
were together for a few years, I think.
and apparently at the end of the movie when like when Courtney goes up to get her friends and says, well, hello, you beautiful people. This is like a reference to obviously Marilyn Manson's
Uh-huh.
song that came out that year too, called Beautiful People, which I really like. I mean, I like Marilyn Manson back then, so like I
Yeah.
like his stuff. It's cool. So that was cool. Um, oh yeah, this is quite funny. So Jackie Brown, I should say
Pam
Pam,
Grier.
Pam Grier's like contract apparently states that she must be in charge of doing her own hair for her films.
Oh,
Like she
wow.
would not do anything unless she they allow her to do her own hair. So for this film, she wore like 3 wigs blended together for that
Oh,
to get
wow.
hair done. Which I mean, I guess I don't know. It didn't look that bad. It looked alright, but I just think it's funny that I mean, she doesn't strike me as a diva, but that is kind of like a divish thing to say. Like, I must do my own hair, otherwise I can't do this movie. You know?
I think for that, I think yes, it can be seen as a diva, but speaking as someone that has like definitely like ethnic or like black hair, it's definitely something I would put in a contract,
Oh,
especially if she was that
really?
big. Because even if you look at model contracts, you or not model contracts, but I've seen a lot of model YouTube like videos and stuff where a lot of models talk about like in the 80s and 90s when like the black models would go for runway shows and like no one knew how to do their hair and they didn't have the right makeup. They
That
didn't
is
have
true.
complexion.
That is
So
true.
like
Yeah.
if that was me in the 90s, she's already Pam Grier. You know, like she has the name to be able to do if you want her in this film, if you want her to do her own hair, like fuck it, that's great. You don't even have because I feel like it would be even more insane if you get I mean it's really
Mhm.
insulting to have, not be able to do all kinds of hair if you call
Yeah,
yourself a
that is true.
hairstylist,
But I
you
mean,
know?
I would have thought that by 99, I mean, obviously, I don't know. Clearly, it
No,
wasn't the
I don't
case,
think
but
so.
I would
Yeah.
have thought that in 99, at least she could have just tell the hairstylist, like, I want this hair, and then they would do it. But I'm
No,
not sure how things worked back then
I don't
when it
know.
came to not the average actress, but someone
That
with
big.
that. Yeah,
Be
like,
surprised. I mean, I would think even the biggest stars would probably tell you stories of that. Like, it's really shocking that
yeah,
you.
you're right. Yeah, I'm
So
glad
for
that
that,
you pointed that out
yeah,
because I
for
would have
that,
not known.
and she's the only person of color in the entire film,
It is.
right?
Yeah,
So like, if
it
you want
is.
me to be in it, and she's probably the most known, I think too. She's
Yeah.
probably the most known in the film, aside from Rose McGowan at the time. But I mean, as far as like cameos, or well, Jeff Conway's in it, the guy who's played Kaneki in Grease. He's
Oh,
also in
yeah.
I think he was in the show Taxi in the 70s too. But yeah, no, I'm props to her for like them saying yeah, because they could have been like, no, we're not doing that. Like we're not paying for that. You're like, or they might she probably got more money because she's like, I have to do my own hair on top of learning the lines on top of it. So
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I think it's
yeah,
cool.
no, that is, I'm glad that you, like, rectify why that was because I would have not known that. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
like
cool.
yeah, props for her. I mean, she was so good at it too.
She was, yeah, she was a
She
detective.
has
I
the
mean,
jawbreaker down. She's like, rock hard. Look. That's so funny. Oh yeah, what else? Keep going.
yeah, I just have that, each of the, well, basically, like, I think that the director, Darren, was sort
Hmm.
of kind of like clearly likes horror films from like the 70s, and he loved Carrie and like other movies, so he kind of wanted to play a tribute to those films with his film, and he even used some of the cast from Carrie from
Hmm.
1966, who are basically like, I think they were teens in that film, but in this movie they were Lizzie's parents.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I
That's so
mean, it is, yeah, even though they had a very small part, but that was really cool.
wow.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, good. I have some different ones. Okay, it was shot in LA, which I guess if you know LA, you can tell a lot of
Mhm.
the streets. $3.5 million budget. Only made 3.1 million, so it didn't do so hot financially. It did become a cult classic, so that's kind of like where it stands now. If you go on YouTube, there's a series of it's called the Jawbreaker Diaries, and they have like just little clips that are maybe like a minute or like 2 minutes, and they show just little behind the scenes stuff. It's not anything like that I could tell you about what happens. It's literally just all of them on set, but it's just cool. And you
Oh,
get to see
cool.
the different sets and the different, I think that's a helicopter if anyone can hear that. Flying over. There's yeah, so it's really cool. They're like maybe 10 minutes in total. I think it was on the Blu-ray when they released it on Blu-ray. So I think that's where it came from. I have the thing about Manson. Oh, Rachel Lee Cook was originally cast as Julie at first,
Mhm.
but she was replaced with Rebecca Gayheart because she didn't have the chemistry the producers wanted with the other actresses. in the film, which I can definitely see. I am not a fan of Rachel Lee Cook. I don't like She's All That. I won't be covering it 'cause I just don't like her. Like,
Really?
yeah, I don't like her. Um, not that I mean, not her personally. I just don't like her acting. It's just not my thing. And She's All That was just not like, no, like I saw it once and I could live never seeing it again. But yeah, I find that interesting that Rachel Lee Cook was supposed to be Julie because I definitely again think that would have been a weird casting choice.
Yeah.
Um, and let's see. Also, Rose McGowan based her performance in this film on Jean Tierney, an actress who was in the film Leave Her to Heaven from 1945,
I
which is
don't know that
I
film.
don't either, and it's on my list to watch. And a few of my film buff fans were like, "You haven't seen it? It's fucking amazing." It's like this woman marries this socialite, and I think she like goes off on this like violent, aggressive rampage somehow. But
Oh
it's really
wow.
interesting for the 40s, so I want
Oh
to see it.
yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
kind of like insane for that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that Rose McGowan knew that reference too. Because I think it was pretty obscure the film, so that's kind of cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's all I have for behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, let's get into the plot points. Okay, first of all, the introduction with the slow-mo walk in the hallway is so fucking iconic. It's like the most iconic part I think of the whole film,
It
like just
is.
all of the slow motion walks that they do throughout.
It is so cool.
You can
So
see where
wait,
Mean Girls got it from. If
so
any
Mean Girls came out after?
Oh yeah, oh 04.
Oh, four, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Mean Girls took it from this film.
And I'm
That's cool.
sure someone I think does Heather's have a slow-mo scene too? I'm
I
trying to think. I need to watch
think,
Heather's again. It's been a while since I've watched it. I do want to cover that, even though it's like 89 or 88. I do want to cover Heather's.
yeah, we should. I watched it once for the first time 5 years ago.
Oh wow, okay. I just haven't seen it in a while. Like I think yeah, I've seen it like maybe twice, but I need to watch it again. So we should do Heather's, but I'll make a note to see if there's a slow-mo walk in that one too. I'm
Yes,
sure
let's
people are
do that.
screaming like, "Of course there's one in Heather's." Like, how do they not know this? but yeah. So then we get this. It's the 17th birthday of Liz Purr, who's like the perfect girl, played by Charlotte Ayana. And okay, here's a question: They kidnap. They're like gonna kidnap their friend for her birthday
Oh my
and do
god.
all this crazy shit to her outside of shoving the jawbreaker in her mouth and then taping it, which was really violent and crazy for it to
It
start
is
like
so
that.
violent. It's like
Did you
the
ever do this? Like, did you ever have friends who pulled
no.
pranks on you? I didn't
No,
either.
no, no. Like, I mean, I definitely know that like kids were really cruel in school, and they used to do like, but it was like boys doing bad things to girls, and it was
Yeah,
like they would put like pins on your seat,
yeah,
like
we had that. Yeah,
and like stuff
snap
like
your
that.
snap your
It's
bra.
not your bra.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really crazy to think that some boys that actually tried to put their hand up your skirt.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was quite like they will gather in like a group of 10 and they will tackle one girl in the
What?
corners. Yeah, but yeah, it's really bad.
Oh my
That happened in my
God.
school.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Um
upsetting.
it's really violent, like, and yeah, I mean you couldn't do that now.
I don't think
I
so. If
don't
you
think
did,
you
it'd be a
could.
different film. It would be like a straight horror film. I feel like you couldn't do it like as a funny thing anymore. I feel like it would
No, no,
be like
you
a
couldn't.
horror film?
But I read that the director actually wrote that based on like girls that he went to high school with, that was a thing his friends did. So it's like
Damn.
real stuff. It's not like he made it up.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Girls are crazy, if you didn't know. If you're a guy listening to this, girls are it's intense.
Yeah.
Like,
So you better be nice to girls
yeah.
who like are 16, 17 because they can turn evil and crazy.
Yeah. And most of the time, and this is like to each other. This has nothing to do with the guy. This has nothing to do with them fighting. They're just like doing this to each other, which is,
But sorry, yeah, continue.
oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But I do think it's insane. You cannot physically like swallow a Jawbreaker. You couldn't. There's
No,
no
they have
way.
small ones though. They have different sizes, but that one was really fucking big.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I was like, how did she get that lodged all the way down in her throat? Like that's
I
massive.
know.
that tape would not have shoved it down there, but for
Mm-mm.
the sake of the story.
Yeah.
They they tie her up, shove her in the trunk of the car, and probably one of my favorite scenes is like them after they have her in the car and they're like driving around like saying what they're gonna do to her.
Oh
And they're
yeah,
like,
but
"Oh, yeah, we're gonna like strap her to like the gold post with like her underwear and like pour honey all over her, some shit, like all this crazy shit." I was like, wow, this is intense. Like
it's really mean.
for your 17th birthday.
I know.
Then I love when they open the back of the car and then all three of them you see them standing or like in the trunk and then they take a picture of her and then the fucking camera that triggered me when the Polaroid dropped and like totally just broke apart. I was like, the Polaroid camera.
I know. The photo scared me. It was like really sad. It was like really intense to see her with her eyes wide open.
Oh, and they're like, oh fuck, she's dead. I was like, oh my god. And then that's how you start the film. And then I love the credits that are like the collage
Oh
of all the
yeah,
girls, and then you see them like making a Jawbreaker. Like you see
yeah.
them make the candy, which I thought was really cool.
It was cool.
And then you get another famous strut as the three girls. I have so many fashion notes. I mean, I don't know how like to break it down, but the main theme of this film is color.
Yeah,
Color coordination.
my favorite colors as
We should
well.
do a Jawbreaker shoot. I want to do shoots
Oh
that like
yeah,
are all Rose McGowan. We should do a whole like Rose McGowan series where
series. Yes,
all
let's
her
do it.
films because she has the best clothes.
Who?
Rose McGowan,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
She
in
does.
all of her films, like even in fucking Scream, she has like Tatum has those awesome clothes in Scream, and she has those like red pants in Scream with that like jersey that's all shrunk, and then
Yeah,
she has and then in this one,
the old purple look,
yeah,
so cool with a scarf around her
I
neck. That's really
know.
cool.
And I love the red. I think she has in the beginning with like the red bustier.
And red sunnies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the red like latex skirts. They're all
Oh yeah. I
wearing
mean, there's just so much I can't even. I have to say, I really love Fern's outfits. Not all, but definitely
as
the hot
Violet.
pink skirt. Yeah,
Yeah, as Violet. Yeah, I
the
know.
hot pink latex. Oh my god, can't speak. Ugh. Okay, latex skirt and the bubblegum pink top. It's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like a corset as
Mhm.
well. Yeah,
Super.
she looks really cool. She looks like a model. She has like a ridiculous figure.
Yeah, she's super tall.
Did you know that she trained as a ballet dancer for 10 years?
Really, Judy Greer?
Yep.
Oh no way.
She wanted to be a dancer and I think it was the Russian ballet.
Oh
Like,
wow.
yeah, but then she
She's really
decided to be an
cool.
actress. So, yeah.
She's in everything.
She's in so many
In
films.
so
Yeah.
many things. Yeah, it's really crazy like how you see her now and then when you see all the films that she's in, you're like, whoa, she literally is in everything.
I think out of everyone, she's been in the most films for sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of the other girls are doing much, are they?
Rebecca Gayheart, I know she was in like an episode of Nip Tuck, but that was like years ago. I don't know what she's done lately. And then I know Julie Benz, I just know her from Buffy and Angel because she was in that. And yeah, and Rose McGowan, I'm trying to think of the last thing that Rose McGowan did because she hasn't done many films. Or maybe she has. I don't know. Let me see. The last thing Rose McGowan did, okay, she's in pre-production for something called Sleepwalk. She's done some video shorts and a lot of shorts, and some things about fashion
Hmm.
too. Yeah, and some voiceovers, which is like fucking so cool.
Oh, cool.
Do voiceovers. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. The last like series she was in was Chosen.
I
In
don't
20
I
in
don't know
2014.
that
Yeah, I
one.
don't know that one. She's in a great Law and Order SVU episode too. It's like one of my favorites. But yeah, Rose is just super cool. And yeah, so they strut into school now as the three because they're like, "Fuck, she's dead. What are we gonna do?" And they call in sick, call her in sick, and be like, "Oh yeah, like let's pretend to be her mom," and call and say she has the flu or something, and that's why she's not here. I love when they're all just like super, especially Julie is like super nervous And she's just like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And Courtney's just like, everything is peachy fucking keen.
I love that line. I love that line so
I
much.
know, it's so good. And they're like, everything's normal, just act fine. I was like, I love how she's just like such a sociopath from the beginning.
She is. She's so like
Mm.
controlling and like she knows what to say always. She's so sharp and like what to do. Yeah, it's
And
kind of
Marcy
scary.
is just like a follower, like Foxy. She's just like a typical follower. She's just like, whatever Courtney says, like, I'll do. And then another iconic scene is when they put on their makeup and they all open their bags at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Also, there is a scene where they mention the color of their nail polish, and it's like decay, and I love that because I'm pretty sure they all have MAC. They have MAC lipsticks. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cool. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, MAC, cool.
How sweet. And then we meet Fern Mayo. Oh my god, she's so funny. She's like so mousy, like the most mousy girl ever. And she's gonna take Liz's homework home because Courtney's late, supposedly picking up the homework to take over. They find out, they're like, fuck, we gotta make it back because yeah, fucking they put her back in the bed like crazy. And then they
God,
stage, like they're like, okay, we're gonna stage that she got raped and that's how she died. I was like, okay, whoa.
it's even darker. Just keep
Yeah.
getting darker and darker when they carry her into her house, and like it's not, they drop her and then also like they put her in bed and they try to arrange her. That's like really disturbing. It's like,
No, like rip her underwear.
oh god, I know that's in my worst scenes actually.
Yeah, I think that might be,
I think that like
yeah,
that's so
mine is the
much.
beginning too, just because it's so violent. And I was like, Jesus. And then I just have like staging a rape that somehow will prove the death. What the fuck? Courtney's just way too comfortable, like in all this. She's just way too like, no, this is what we're gonna do. Everyone, like, shut the fuck up. Let's stop freaking out. Like, this is gonna help. I was like, how is a rape leading to death with a jawbreaker? Like, how does they're just
Yeah,
thinking the kinky shit? I think is like their motive.
well, it's because she's kinky. That's why I think she probably thinks that it makes sense because it can totally go wrong and people die, which is true.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
that is true.
Especially that like autoerotic asphyxiation. It's another one of those when people die.
Oh god, yes.
So crazy and weird. I think that's how the guy from NXS died, right? Michael Hutchins.
I don't. He hung himself.
Did he, or was it because of autoerotic asphyxiation? That's what sometimes it looks like, because it has
Mm,
to do with hanging. I'm gonna look this up too.
yeah, look it up because I never heard that before. I thought that he
Like,
just wanted to die,
oh,
basically, and
all right, let's see.
which is a really because it's quite common. Quite a few people, like rock stars, have done that. They hung themselves, which is just so
Let's
like
see.
the latest one. Remember was the
Oh,
dude from Audioslave. What's his name?
yeah, Chris
Chris
Cornell.
Cornell.
Yeah. Let me see. It
Oh,
says, okay, he was okay, and it's okay, maybe not, but for some reason I think I heard it in like a film. Maybe they were talking about him, but maybe they were just completely wrong because this one is saying that it's almost the same thing. Like he um hanged himself in like a hotel door, and it was
yeah,
like he was kneeling, like it was the same thing. It said
yeah. It was.
forward, okay. And then it said that he had lots of drugs in his system and all this stuff. Okay, no. So I thought it was autoerotic. There's someone, oh, it says Yates. Who's Yates? I
I
think it's an
don't know.
autopsy person claimed that Hutchins' death might have resulted from autoerotic asphyxiation. Okay, this claim contradicted previous statements to police. Oh, this is who, oh, during the tour, Paula Yates, who I believe was his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, Paula.
She's
Yeah, she's quite big actually. I know her.
the
Yeah.
one that said, I think she's the one that said this later after she didn't say it. What happened was in
Oh.
1999, she did an interview on 60 Minutes and she claimed that it might have been from that. So I don't know.
Hmm.
So who knows? I think
He
it,
was so young as well.
yeah, such a great band too, NXS.
I know.
Yeah, he
Love
was
so
37.
many of their songs. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, so then while all this is happening, Fern is going to Liz's house to take her homework, and then she goes, which is weird that she goes like inside the house. I guess people just don't lock their doors or whatever. But she hears the girls literally all saying what happened, like right outside. She's like, "We didn't mean to kill her. It was an accident." Blah 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 blah. And then that's when you get the famous line of, "I killed Liz. I killed the teenage dream. Deal with it."
Oh, God, so
Yeah.
mean.
And then they all like are like, "Oh shit." They find her outside, and then they kind of pull her aside, and they're like, "Look, you can't tell anyone. We're gonna like make you over, make you like us, and this is gonna be our secret." And she's like, "Okay." And she's just like the super mousy girl. Julie, on the other hand, is like gonna crack. She's just like,
Mm.
"Oh my god, I feel so bad. Like, we need to tell someone." But yeah, so then we find out that now they're kind of like taking, I love the makeover scene too with
Me
Fern.
too. That's in my favorite scenes.
I love
Yeah.
it. It's so good.
I love it. Doesn't ever get old, you know. Even if
Yeah.
we say that it's like such a cliche, I still really love watching one, you know. It's
The Clueless one's my favorite.
yeah, that's cool. That
Model.
one is cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that
But
one.
this one is pretty cool, to be honest.
It is. It's very weird. It's very like,
Yeah.
strange and weird, but it's cool.
And also because they make her look really good. Like she looks like
She
a
looks,
completely different
yeah,
person.
her hair, like she gets like this short, like super 90s, like Kelly
So
Taylor
90s.
90210 haircut when Kelly cut her hair like that.
Yep. I call my hair like that too in 99.
Did you?
Yeah, you know why? Because of Dawson's Creek. Because that was like a thing. It was like everyone started calling their hair. Remember,
Oh, Jen,
um,
yeah.
what's her name? Williams. What's her
Yeah,
name?
Jen, Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, she was kind of the ultimate inspiration. I was like, she looks so good. Like, and
Oh,
she has like a very round face. So if she pulls it off, then I should be able to. So my sister and I both caught it that exactly that and styled it the same way.
oh
Yeah.
wow. I've never had hair that short, like ever
Yeah.
in my life. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Um, then we get the iconic breakdown of food in the cafeteria when she's
Oh my
telling
God.
Fern, like, "Look, this is what we do. We don't eat when anyone can see you. We don't." I mean, granted, nowadays I feel like this conversation could like never happen because it's just like the most insensitive conversation ever.
Oh yeah.
But it's totally meant to be like so funny and so
And
satirical.
reflective of the times because it was like
Yeah.
that back then, you
Yeah,
know.
totally. Like completely. And then they show like the table, they call them like the Karen Carpenter table, which is so fucked. And
It's so
they
bad.
all
Oh
have those
no.
raisins. Like they're all like splitting those raisins. I was like,
I
oh,
know.
I was
I
like,
thought that was totally unnecessary
that
because that's
they
actually
call it
like
Karen Carpenter. Yeah, that was
it's
fucked.
what happened is very tragic, and I don't
Yeah.
think you can really make fun of it or you know.
Yeah, no, totally. But like then it's also, and now that I see this again, because I haven't seen it in a few years, now that I see it again, I can totally see how Mean Girls just like made Regina George like an archetype of Courtney Shane.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
almost
Yeah.
exactly. And I also wrote too, I love the way that Courtney slash Rose talks, like in any film. I love her, just like her inflections and her voice. It's just so funny. Just the way that she has this kind of like, and we're gonna do this, and you're gonna, but it's not a Valley Girl, but it's just it's very her. It's very Rose.
Mm.
So it's this weird like seductive Valley Girl thing that she does.
But I feel that that's got to be her in
I
real
think,
life as well,
yeah,
right?
I think it's
Yeah.
her. Yeah, it's really funny. It's really cool. And then I wrote Pam motherfucking Greer. She is the lead detective on the case, looking for Liz, and well, not looking for her, but like finding out what happened. And then comes like my literally iconic favorite scene of all is that weird Courtney and Dane, her like guy of choice, that weird fucking popsicle sex scene.
No, that's in my favorite scenes too.
I
We
didn't.
have the
I don't
same
think.
ones.
Yeah, we probably do because that one's fucking dope. Like that's what I think of when I think of Jawbreaker. Like it's just so funny.
Well, it's funny, but it's also really cool if you think about it because you never see like in like I feel like girls are absolutely taking well control in this movie, and then it's nice to see how the guy is just like this sort of useless object, you know, that's just there for her to have fun with and stuff. And I think it's really cool that she's like, suck it, lick it, like whatever. And
How to do it? Can you show me on this? That's so funny. It is true. I didn't even think about that. That like it's very much like not what you would see in.
no, I think it's female empowerment. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it totally is.
It is really cool.
And I love how he's just like this bimbo. Like he's just this dumb, like I guess like jock guy that
Hmm.
she's just like. And I think he's like he's not her boyfriend, but he's definitely just someone she can like call up. He's definitely like booty call material.
Totally. Yeah.
And then I wrote Foxy's dad is Kaniki from Greece, and the dad even calls her a follower, which
Oh, I know. You're a follower.
that was so funny. And then we have the interrogation with all the girls, and I think her name is like Vera. Is it no something with a V? Pam Grier's character. I think her last name is Cruz, but it's like Valerie or like something. It's with a V. But I love how she interrogates all of them, and they're like, I love all their outfits. There's so many outfit changes.
So many. Well, there are, yeah, but in some scenes they kind of mess up because it's like a different day, and then some
Yeah,
of them are wearing the same outfit.
I think the red. I think when she has the red outfit, the first one, I think you see it twice.
Yeah, and also Violet's outfit, the hot pink
Yeah,
skirt and the lighter pink corset. That she wears that in 2 different days.
yeah. I did
But
notice that.
yeah.
That's so crazy. And then you actually see the beginning of Violet. And she like turns herself into this like totally other persona. And now she's like a carbon copy, but even more, not carbon copy, but she's like a bit smarter than Courtney. And she now realizes that like she has all the power because she knows this secret that is just kind of like, you know, it's just it's just like she holds all the power now. Like at any time she can just be like, oh yeah, well I heard you guys do all this, but there's still no way to prove it, so we think.
Yeah, but also she has like so much attention from everyone. She's like
Yeah,
really become like so popular, and everyone like
she's just like I do
knows her
10 things
now.
I hate about you. It's the same thing where everyone had all these rumors about her, where they're like, oh my god, I heard she was a model. I heard
Oh
she
yeah,
transferred here. She's like this new student. She's like this and that. Like,
she was like head of cheerleader.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, so funny. And then the only like kind of question that I had that didn't really need to be was Zach, the drama guy that Julie ends up with.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really like need to be in it. He was very like, I mean, I feel like I get it that like Julie had someone when she kind of broke from the group, and she saw what happened with like Fern and Violet, and she's like, oh shit, like she kind of got cast out because she just felt really guilty about it. And then of course she is with Zach, but it just seemed kind of unnecessary.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like I mean, but yeah, she needed somebody. She needed.
But also, I feel like he really encouraged her to tell the truth and like,
Yeah, that's true. And she spills the
yeah.
beans to him.
And then
Like,
he helps at the end with the message on the card.
yeah, that's true. And then they go to that cool drive-in. Like he takes her
Oh
to that cool
yeah.
drive-in, which I thought was really cool. That it was like empty. I love drive-ins. I've only been twice, but I would love to go again. And they probably will be bigger now because of COVID.
Oh, that's true. They're definitely gonna make a
Yeah,
comeback.
I think they're gonna
Yeah.
make a comeback, which
That's such a good idea. There are some in London as well, actually.
I think they have one down at the football stadium here. I heard that they were going to do one. I don't know if they did.
Oh, we
They were
should do
trying to.
that.
Yeah, we should totally go. And then and then Courtney tells Pam, I don't we keep calling her Pam, Detective Cruz. She tells that Liz had an addiction to men. And like
Oh,
that's what like setting up this whole like this is her weird kink and this is how she died. And that's when you see the glimpse of like Marilyn Manson looking like a fucking creepy ass old
he
dude.
is so
So
creepy that actually
creepy
he
all
is in my worst scenes just but like
his
it's not
look.
really scene but just seeing him kind of like you don't see them having sex but you see him and he's having sex with someone.
It's Rose.
Yeah, it's Rose, but just his face and like with that weird mustache and like he just looks so creepy and disgusting. I don't like that.
Which apparently there was an explicit sex scene that they had to cut.
Yeah, I read that too because it was too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he would have made it different. What is it called?
Oh, like a rating.
Yeah,
It would be like
rating.
NC-17.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would have, like, no one could see it. I'm trying to think of anything that's been NC-17. Just Showgirls. I remember
Oh,
that was MC17.
you know what's so funny that I just remember and totally forgot last week when we did Seven
Mhm.
that Showgirls
Mhm.
came out the same day as the premiere was the same day as Seven.
No way. Really?
Yeah, I read that. I just forgot. I don't know why I forgot it.
Oh, damn.
How weird.
That's definitely a different genre.
I know.
And then we get the amazing like transformation into Violet, and she like pulls up in that Corvette. I was like, how did she get a fucking Corvette?
Well, it kind of looks like she's making up with this guy who's fixing the car. It's not his car, but it's like that could be fine for one time, but
But
she
she has it.
consistently drives it. So it's kind of like, come on.
Yeah, I was like, how
She's not fixing the car every day, you know, like
and she has the license plate that says bitch,
oh yeah. I
which
mean,
I love. And then I have Julie spills the beans to Zach. So now Zach is like in the know, and he's like this weird drama guy, but he's like hot. Like it's weird. I think he's hotter than Courtney's guy. Or he's like
I don't know. I don't really think either
either
of them
one's
is
all that hot.
cute.
They're very like typical 90s, like, they could be anybody really. And then prom, and then Courtney's like, yeah, I'm taking Dane. Like whatever, I'm taking him. Because we're gonna be like prom king and prom queen. And then that's when it's all about Violet, and Courtney's like, fuck, everyone's like talking about Violet, like Violet's all anyone can talk about. Then she says the famous line, rule bitch, but don't forget who made you.
I know.
My
Such a good
favorite.
line.
And then that's when Violet's like, I have all the power. Like I'm the one who can like break this up. So like you better like back the fuck off. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then Julie is now trying to find proof that all this happened because it's basically just hearsay. So she goes and tries to find the photo, and she tries to find the camera because she's like, oh, I remember
Oh
the
yeah.
camera broke. So they go to like the diner parking lot and it's gone. But then you see like the photos like down on the curb, like she missed it. And it's actually still there. And then Courtney's just like, fuck, this is crazy. Then she puts like Fern Mayo's photo all over school. This is just like Mean Girls. This is
I
literally
know. It is
now
just
that
like Mean Girls, yeah.
like Mean Girls because they did the same thing to whatever Lindsay Lohan's character, or no, yeah, or all of them. I think they did it for the whole school, but yeah. And then I was like, Fern fucking Mayo, Fern's photos all over the school, embarrassing her. And then I have Courtney sets up a guy, like some guy, to take the fall for Liz's murder. Like I don't know how she's doing all this and managing to still be in school somehow. Like they
I
all look
know.
way older than high school too. That's the one major gaffe is they all look like they're like in their 20s.
No, but apparently the director said, Darren said that he deliberately like wanted to cast girls who were older than high school girls because apparently in Greece it was the same. They used obviously actors who were not like 16 or 17. So
That's
so
true.
he just wanted that. Just yeah.
That's cool though. If it's always really funny. Like even in Clueless, I think Cher looks pretty young, but everyone else like you're like these people are older, and Brittany Murphy looks pretty young, but like everyone else,
She does.
like everyone
But
should be
I
older.
feel like when I was that age, they were this yeah, I mean there were a lot of girls that looked 21, but they weren't. They were 16, 15. You know, it's just some
Yeah,
girls just
yeah. Some girls
are
definitely
developed,
older.
you know,
Yeah,
sooner than old.
sooner than others, especially when you're like 16, 17. Like you definitely can look like 20.
Well, not when you're very short like me, but yeah,
Oh,
some girls
oh,
can.
that's not
Yeah.
true. You never know.
Mm.
And then we get to prom with the Donnas playing. I never was a huge fan of the Donnas. I wrote there are always bands at proms in movies. Does this
Yeah,
happen?
that is true. I
Like,
don't think that happens, right? No,
no,
that
I don't
can't
think
be.
so. Although my friend did have Good Charlotte play at her dance. I don't know if it was prom, but I don't know if you Good Charlotte was like a big band in like the 2000s. They're from around here, but they got big like nationally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and actually internationally. And one of there are two twins in the band. One is married to Nicole Richie, the other is married to Cameron Diaz. So
Oh, wow.
they're like famous.
Oh, I think I remember
Bad,
that.
yeah,
Vaguely
they're like the
remember.
Bad twins, yeah. But that's the only person that I knew that had like a band, like a real band, like play at a dance. But it seems like in all movies, there's
10
always
Things I Hate About You, they
yeah,
have a band too,
yeah,
right?
Say Ferris and Letters to Cleo, which I thought was really cool. Um,
Yeah, I know some of the, it's funny, I really like the music, but I don't really know anyone apart from Letters to Cleo because I think they have music in Candy.
oh, Candy,
I
the
think,
movie with Heath Ledger.
yeah, I think there's a song by them in Candy.
Oh, okay.
I think. Um, I'm pretty sure it's in the soundtrack, but I could be wrong. And also, I really like one song that this is the only song that I actually know. It's where is it? Oh, it's called Flow by Trans Sister.
Oh, okay.
I knew that song, but I didn't know any of the other acts. Like I don't know anyone, but
You didn't know
never heard
Gilbert
those songs.
Dolls, Volcano Girls, like the credits in the beginning?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
I only know obviously one song by Scorpions, but that's it.
Yeah, and then
You know.
did you know the Cars? The Good Times Roll. Let the
Nope.
good times roll. You never heard that song?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow. And
I
Imperial
really feel like
Legion?
I just went back in time because I don't know any. I didn't know
Oh,
anything about the
wow.
film. Never knew any of these bands. Never heard any of the songs apart from that one flow. But I don't know where I hear that. But I knew that song.
Cool though.
Yeah, so it's all like new to me.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're at the prom and they found the card because Julie's, I think it's Liz's mom brings all this stuff that Liz had that she's like, "Oh, I think Liz would want you to have this." So Julie like gets all this stuff and inside is that card that actually has like a voice in it and she hears because she was playing it when they were like doing shit in her room before and I guess she didn't realize that she recorded Courtney saying like I killed Liz. I killed the teenage dream. And then she's like, oh, fuck, we got to play this. So then they end up like rigging it at the prom. And of course, Dane and Courtney are prom king and queen. And then once they rig it and they keep playing it, and I love how everyone's face is like, that's her fucking voice. That's Courtney. And then even Dane leaves. He just goes like, and then he just like walks off. I was like, oh shit. So she gets found out. And then it's the best when she makes that speech. That's one of my favorite scenes is like her speech and her exit. When she's just
I love her exit.
so good.
It's yeah.
And her makeup at the end is just crying. Like
I
her
love that.
just running. And I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. And then that's the photo in the yearbook. Like at
Oh
the end.
yeah.
And then like that's how it ends.
I
Like
like that a lot
I
actually.
think it's really cool. I also love that the school's like Reagan High, which I find really funny too. But
You what?
it's Reagan High. Like
No, but do you know that school?
no, 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 no. I think it's a fake school.
It is?
Yeah, I think it's a fictional school.
I think it's real.
No, I mean the school's probably real, but I don't think there's a Reagan High like there.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. Is there a Reagan High in LA?
Look it up because I think I came across it. I think I saw it somewhere that it was a real school, but I could be wrong. I think like that is the actual name.
Hey, there's one in like Texas and North Carolina. No, oh, that's no. Texas has one that's actually
Oh,
Ronald
okay.
Reagan High School, but I don't think in Los Angeles there is. I just think it's kind of funny that it's named after Reagan.
It
Uh,
is. I know.
yeah, no, they have a
Definitely.
hospital in LA, but yeah, I don't think there, but it's really funny. Yeah, so that's what I have for plot points. What do you have for? I have a few things for like the other sections, but what do you have?
What section?
Like theme and mood. I just have like, I love their rooms. Just so
Uh,
cool.
I don't love the rooms. I feel like I don't like Julie's room. I think it's really
Oh yeah,
boring.
Julie's I don't like no, but I love Courtney's and Liz's.
I like Courtney's.
Hers is weird. Hers looks like she lives
I
in a
guess
log cabin.
Julie's room is cool. Yeah, that is.
It's kind of funny.
I think it's. I mean, I don't know, like set design wise. I think it's nothing really stands out to me. To be honest, like it's just like high school. Pretty much all of it is filmed there. I like the diner, like outside
Yeah,
of the diner. That's cool. I mean, I knew
California.
just by watching movies about LA that it was LA. Like it looked like LA anyway.
Yeah, it's just outside.
And because you always say that like epic sunsets is like a norm there, so like they have that really pretty sunset when she is with the guy.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's the first time that he takes her there.
He takes her there, yeah.
Um, yeah, I think to be honest, I just more focused on the fashion. I
I was
just
gonna say,
really,
yeah, we talked about the music a bit. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
about the
love
music.
the Imperial Teen. I also really the one scene that I really liked was I feel like the cinematography wasn't that strong in this film.
No, it wasn't.
It moved
Yeah.
very fast. It's a short film. It's like 87 minutes. It's not very long either. So everything did move kind of fast. I feel like that sunset that you talked about really reminds me of some films in the future that Iraqi did.
Hmm.
Very much like an Iraqi thing, like that bright sunset, that like really technicolor.
Yeah, it's like a really bright pink.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Another one is what Paris, Texas.
Oh yeah,
Like that really we should do that one too. That's
we
just
should do that one. Yeah,
long,
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
cinematography film, which is really great. Yeah, and then I have Imperial Teen, which is like the one that they're walking down the hall to, like that song.
Oh yeah.
Yoo-hoo, I think. That's another great one. Yeah, and I have like the Cars, Letters to Cleo. It's a great soundtrack. Like look up that soundtrack. It's pretty fucking rad.
No, I listened to it. Yeah, but this is how I knew that I didn't know like
Yeah,
any of it. It's really cool. I liked it.
it's super
I love that
cool.
it's mostly female singers.
Mhm.
Like bands and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, what are your fashion notes? Because I know you got them.
I just okay. One of my favorite colors is pink. It's like black and pink are my favorite colors basically,
Hmm.
and like I love that the use of pink is so prominent, like throughout the entire film, like pink outfits, obviously the sunset, like
Hmm.
red as well. There's like the red outfit, the red convertible car, like I love that, and I just love. I mean, there's so many notes on fashion. I don't know, like so many amazing outfits. I
So
love
funny.
what Violette wears. Like she actually wears some really cool things, like the latex hot pink skirt and the bubblegum like corset. Her hairstyle, then the all purple look that Courtney wears with a
Oh,
scarf. That's very Grease, though.
yeah, it is.
Don't you think?
50s.
Because she's wearing those like high waisted sort of
Pedal pusher
capri
pants.
leggings. Do you
Yeah,
remember we had those?
I had
And I,
those.
yeah, I had so many of those
I had those.
outfit, not entire outfit, but I did wear, which now looking back, I think that is a terrible look, and I don't know why I ever wore it.
Flattering.
Like the sleek dresses with the cardigans, that was so mumsy.
Yeah,
Like
it
I
is.
feel like even looking at them now, I'm like, it just looks so weird. Like it doesn't look cool,
No,
you
yeah,
know?
it doesn't. But
But it was a
it's
thing.
cool in like the grunge era when like
It
Courtney
was.
Love had like she didn't really wear cardigans though. She just wore like the slips and like the big
I know. I
dresses.
mean, it's just one of those things that, like, it was really cool at the time, and everyone was wearing it. But looking at it now, it's like, no, I don't like that look at all.
Yeah, no, it is kind
Like
of
I don't,
weird.
yeah.
It looks like
But
you borrowed your boyfriend's cardigan. Like you were wearing that shirt or that dress and then you got cold and you borrowed like someone's like sweater that doesn't fit like with your whole look.
I don't know. I feel like the cardigans that I used to have were like that, really cropped and very
Oh, I'm thinking
fitted.
of baggy ones,
Oh no,
like
no, because
oversized ones.
Violette has one.
Oh
She
yeah,
has this little
yeah, it's like a shrunken one.
over like a floral print midi dress.
Okay, you're right.
But yeah, I love those outfits. I love that it's very much like 80s and 50s inspired. Like
Hmm.
it's totally a combination of which a lot of obviously a lot of those like came back in the 90s anyway,
Yeah.
But
Props to Vicky Barrett for the costume design,
yeah, she's amazing. But yeah, I think there's so many references to Greece, like the in terms of outfits.
which
I
is
feel like
funny because Kanicki's in it.
yeah, no, I know. And I think I mean, I read that she actually sourced most of the clothes from vintage shops or whatever you call it, thrift stores.
Yeah. Oh no
Yeah.
way.
But it's like, how do you find stuff like that in thrift stores? That's like, I mean, apparently she altered it all, obviously.
You have to go to LA.
But I know. I
Um,
mean, I've heard that it is a place for vintage. Like,
yes, it is. Yeah. I also
yeah.
forgot too, because I was just looking through Tatiana Ali from Fresh Prince was also in this film. I
Yeah,
forgot
I
she's not
know.
like Pam Grier is not the only person of color in this. But
You're right.
unfortunately, Tatiana Ali does not have much of a role. It would have been great
No.
if she had more of a because it's like she was friends with Fern and then
Mm.
or she was kind of friends with Julie, and then she kind of like becomes friends with Fern because Fern's like the hot, hot biz around school. But I wish that she had like a bit more of a role. I think she was a cheerleader.
She was a
Yeah,
cheerleader. Yeah.
which I think was
But yeah, no, I love the color palette. I love the each of them had their own look. Obviously to go with their personality. Like Julie's was very different from Courtney's, and like just everyone was like had their own thing going on, which is really cool. It's interesting that the costume designer actually worked assisting the costume designer for Clueless,
yeah.
Mona May. Yeah.
Huh.
So you kind of see, okay, it makes sense. Like she's obviously clued up with like teenage films and
And
like,
she did the Clueless TV show.
oh, she did?
Yeah, she was the costume designer for that, which I don't know if you've ever seen.
No,
It's
I've never
not
seen it.
it's not good. Like, I mean,
Oh.
it's actually, I mean, it's not that it's not good, but it's entertaining because I watched it when it was on because I was like in high school and I was obsessed with Clueless. And obviously they didn't get Cher for
Mm,
Alicia Silverstone, but they literally got everyone else.
really?
Yeah, like it's
Wow.
not bad. And actually Brittany Murphy's in 2 episodes.
That's
So it's
crazy.
actually, but I think you would really enjoy it because the fashion is so good. Like it is so contempo casual, which is like a 90s store we had, super like late 90s. It's very much like Jawbreaker. And now that I know that she did the Clueless TV show, I feel like if I show you some screen grabs of outfits, like it's so outlandish. It's just so
Oh,
crazy, super
cool.
bright. Dee wears the best clothes. Like she has the coolest shit. It's actually really cool. And Amber, who always had really cool clothes too, she has
Yeah, she had cool
clothes.
clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second one in the TV show too, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, what I really like about the costume design is that yes, it is really cool, and not really sure how these girls can get clothes like that, but it is true because I was wearing stuff like that at that age.
Yeah, same.
So, like
The colors.
yeah, I had like these not the shoes though, because the shoes are kind of on the ugly side. Some of the shoes they wear, like not
Yeah, the strap.
I don't particularly like them, but I was wearing like platforms from Diesel. Like I was obsessed with platforms and like the just that top, like just spaghetti strap tops that were kind of ruched like below the bust,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
They were like massive in the 90s, and yeah, I really love like visually so cool. Like the costume design is amazing.
And it was definitely like an anti grunge movement. Like as grunge kind of ended and like through the death of Kurt Cobain, really. I mean, not that it hadn't ended before it became like ridiculously commercial, but it
Hmm.
kind of like everyone shifted away. Even if you hear like music documentaries, they talk about how the music just got really poppy because grunge was like really depressing and sad, and everyone was doing all these like, like Alanis Morissette was coming out, Fiona Apple was all this like kind of like sad, and that's when like pop really took over because it was just the complete opposite. But I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
like a pro
fashion,
response from that.
yeah,
Yeah.
fashion was the same way. It went from like drab colors and like ill-fitting stuff to like really really tight technicolor, like Clueless, like essentially Clueless ushered in that bright color, and then it kind of like kept going throughout like the, I guess, like the next decade, like through like the
Hmm.
2000s. It was like a big thing. I mean, the 2000s, like I was talking to Jules about this yesterday on the show, is like the 2000s fashion was fucking horrendous.
It was. I think we talked about
Horrendous.
this before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
bad.
whole like really
Oh,
low jeans showing your thong and
I mean, those juicy tracksuits, which thank God I
oh,
never wore, but
and the Uggs boots.
all of it. It's just some things just don't need to come back. I don't know
No.
how they can spin 2000s to being modern. I really
You
don't
know,
know how they can spin that.
you know who tries to like, or who keeps wearing this to make it a comeback? The Hadid sisters, which is really
Oh,
annoying.
they were those like small glasses.
Bella Hadid wears like really low cut jeans and like with her thong out. Like
Ugh,
it's
no,
they both wear like quite a lot of like clothes from that era. I think
weird.
like I know.
Ugh, no. Some things I feel like they're just not flattering and like don't
Mm-mm.
need to come back. Like that's one of them. It's just no. I feel like there's
I
no way
agree.
to make that. It's one thing to be, I mean, I know like fashion grunge in itself is kind of like a larf because like grunge and fashion don't even go together, but it's like there's a way to like make grunge high fashion in a way. Like there's a way to interpret it. How the fuck are you
Like
gonna
Celine.
yeah, well, yeah, among like Marc Jacobs and a lot of other people who like did it better first, but like I feel like I don't know how you could do that to 2000s. I really don't know how you could like modernize some of like the worst trends and most unflattering trends, like Abercrombie, like logos on everything.
Oh
Like, how
God,
are they gonna
yeah.
make that cool? I mean, granted, Gucci's kind of doing that. They're kind of making going more streetwear because he's got fucking Gucci on everything and those
Hmm.
tigers. Like it's just very like whoa. But I mean, I don't. I feel like it's now we're going into that minimal '90s thing, which started to be like more of a thing with like Calvin Klein, like the whole like blacks and whites. But I don't know. Now it's streetwear. Who the fuck? Now there's everything. I mean, there's literally like
I feel like it is everything. You're
yeah,
right. There isn't like a few, like 10 years ago, you could really see like things were coming back entirely, like 60s for one
mhm,
season, and then it would be like 70s or 80s. Now it's just like everything.
yeah.
It's like boho chic, and then it is like
Or the boho
90s, and then it's 60s at the same time. I feel like there's so many trends, and it's all like too
everywhere.
much. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
overwhelming.
everywhere. It's
Like
kind
I
of
don't
crazy.
like it.
Okay, so my fashion notes, I just wrote color, latex. I love the very beginning when all their sunnies match. Like they're
Yeah, I
all the
love
same
that.
shape. They're all like that circular, like Kurt Cobain type, the white ones as like
I have
ovals.
them.
Oh,
I
you
have
do?
those. The white with the pink. Yeah, I have
Oh,
those.
those are cool. And then I
Hmm.
wrote like Courtney. I love her first outfit, the red bustier skirt. I love the purple outfit. I love the blue boob tube and choker. It's like that was
Yeah, that's
really cool. And
cool.
then she has the blue snake skin. One time she has like a blue like spaghetti strap tank top snake skin, which I thought was really cool.
That is cool. Yeah, it's
I
not
have
something I would have worn, but yeah.
no, yeah, me either, but it's so she can pull off anything. Like I
She
feel like
has an amazing body.
yeah,
Yeah.
they all do. They all like look so great. Foxy too, Marcy. I like the first outfit she wears, that lime. It's like a lime, like I don't know, it's like a halter maybe, and then she has that like tight plaid skirt.
Oh yeah, that's a cool
Oh, I
outfit.
like that. I love
Yeah.
the necklace says Foxy on it, which that's really cool. And then Julie, I love how she's really bold at first because she's like fitting in with the group, but then after she's with Zach and she's kind of like on the outs, it's very subtle and very like tomboyish. She has like baggy denim. She has on like just a whole lot of like really like less flashy clothes, I guess. Like she doesn't dress like how she did when she was hanging with them. And
It
then
sort of makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I love when she has the one shot where she has the yellow lenses with like the black frame.
Yeah, those are really
Those are super
cool.
cool. And then I also love when she's looking for the photo at the diner and she has like a chambray halter and like strappy shoes and then like those like printed kind of like dark printed pants. Those look really cool.
I actually don't remember the
Oh,
outfit,
it's
but
cool. I mean, I'll post a picture of like loads of the outfits. It's probably going to be all on Instagram. It's just going to be all their outfits. And then another famous one that I love from Courtney is that Argyle sweater tank that's blue.
oh yeah,
I
that
love
is really
Argyle. Like
cool.
love Argyle. And I also my favorite look of Courtney's is her fucking prom dress and the hair ribbons, like the silver
Yeah,
hair. I love it. It looks so good on her.
you know what I have to say? Like, I do not like that headpiece at all.
Oh, I love it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like,
I don't
I
think
don't know
people
what it
did
is. I
that.
don't.
I never saw it in real life, but I just like how it looked on her.
No, I just don't dig that. Like, I don't. I actually don't really like it.
I think
But
it looks
yeah,
cute. I think it looks
that's
super
great.
cute. That's great. It's totally, I think it looks cool. Okay, so what are your favorite scenes? We probably already talked about them.
We sort of mentioned. Yeah. Okay. So, when Courtney and Dana in
Yeah.
her bathroom, and then she keeps in the popsicle to lick and suck. Yeah, just pipe like female empowerment. She's like so bossy, controlling, kinky. It's just funny to watch.
Hmm.
Um, do you want to go next
Oh no,
with
well
one
that's
each?
okay. Well, my other I only have two down here, and then my other one is
Okay.
prom acceptance speech and her exit. It's just so iconic.
Yeah, I kind of knew you had that one
Yeah, that's my
actually.
other one. What are yours?
Well, obviously the transformation is one
Oh yeah.
because I just love to see transformations. It's
You're
just
a
cool.
Mayo.
But my last one is when they all are. This is actually really funny. When they are all in the bathroom in school, and then Fern appears. She's still like geeky and stuff, and like she's wearing that awful outfit with her terrible long hair, and then they kind of kick her out. But then the teacher comes in and is telling the girls to go back to lessons and stuff, and then she looks at Courtney and says, please cover your bosom. This is a learning institution, not a brothel. Like, I love that.
That's
She's
so
like
fun.
doing the buttons up on her cardigan or whatever she's wearing. I just think it's really funny, you know? It's kind of like what teachers would say, like would have said back then. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, totally.
I mean, I actually had a teacher who sort of said to another girl, you look like a prostitute, literally
Ah,
said that.
really?
Yeah, because she was wearing these tiny, tiny skirts, and she also wore thongs, so you could see
Oh
everything.
my God. Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are only favorite scenes I had. Do you have any others?
No, that's it.
Oh, cool. Okay, my worst scene was the kidnapping prank, just because it was so violent and just even like the whole like let's stage a rape thing, like that. Those like were my two like worst. I was like, no, it's just gross.
Yeah,
I don't like.
that's mine too. That's one of mine. Yeah.
What's your other one?
I, the other one is when I know it sounds silly, but you know when Courtney is telling the detective that she was like a man eater sort of thing,
Hmm.
you know that Liz was, and so as she's describing it, there is this like they're showing kind of Liz walking into a bar, but you don't really see it's Liz. You just see like legs and a short skirt, and like how all these disgusting men are looking at her. Like I that is something that makes my blood boil when guys look at obviously at me or just I look at other when I see them looking at other women on the street like you know how you know
Yeah,
it's really hard to describe but it's kind of they're undressing you
yeah.
with
I was
their
gonna
eyes
say, they have that lustful look, and it's
and it's so hard that men don't realize how uncomfortable and shitty it feels for a woman when they're looking at you that way. It's like really it can be intimidating as
violating
well.
too. You're like, I'm not
Yeah,
even doing it.
especially exactly, especially when you're that age. I think it's really hard. Like I remember feeling so uncomfortable whenever that happened. And like so you see those men perving on her and then you see Marilyn Manson and it's like
Ugh,
he just looks that
like
look
that
on his
dude.
face.
Yeah,
It's
he
like
just looks
so
like that kind of guy.
I know.
Gross.
Yeah, so that's really disturbing. So just for that reason alone is going in my worst scene.
That,
Yeah.
yeah, I have to agree. I didn't have it originally, but I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Cool.
And do you have any?
Favorite
Yeah, do
lines.
you have any quotes? I have so many.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, one of them is the main one that I killed Liz. I killed the teenage dream. Deal with it.
I know, it's bad.
What's one
This
of
one is
yours?
quite long. Corny says, food is cool and all, you needed to live, but the mere act of eating evokes thoughts of digestion, fluctuation, defecation, even shall we say complexion defection.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's just like, oh god, she's just terrible, but she's so great at the same
I
time.
know, she's so good. And then I have like people are not gonna be pleased. It's one of mine. And then I have another one. One of my favorites is we haven't met. What with the cruel politics of high school and all.
Yeah, that's in mine too. Okay, I don't have to say that one.
That one.
Um, Mine is learn it, leave it, love it.
Title of the episode.
I love that. Yeah, it has to be right. And
That's
I
it.
love that, which we already mentioned, peachy fucking keen.
Yeah, it's another good.
Um, and my last one is when Violet says to the detective, "This is high school, Detective Cruz. What is a friend anyway?"
That's true.
It is just like high school is just awful.
It's so bad. It's I would never want to go back.
Actually, I really like it when she says when I can't remember who says it, but they see Courtney, and I think it's very likely that is Violet. Violet. I keep getting confused. I say Violet. It sounds so weird to say
Yeah,
Violet.
yeah.
She says to the other girls, Wow, she's so mean and she's only in high school.
I know, it's so funny. My last one is when Violet says, "On a clear day, baby, you can see tomorrow."
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, those are all I have for quotes.
Cool. Have you ever like stolen any quote from a film that you constantly repeat or say? Like,
Um, I don't know. If I do, then I don't know I am.
don't realize that you've done it
Yeah,
maybe?
do you? Is there anything that you really like?
There is just one thing and you're gonna be like blah blah blah, but
Yeah.
it's I just really like it because it's a really good quote, I think. I'm not normally want to like be quoting like films, like it's kind of like it's a bit too much, but I really love this one. It's all happening. It's like Penny Lane from Almost Famous.
Oh yeah, I need to rewatch Almost Famous. There's
She always says it's all happening, and it's so great because it is true. I love to say it's all happening.
true. It is all happening. Whether it's good or bad, it's all happening.
And also, I'm pretty sure that was an actual thing that people say in the 60s.
Oh, like it's happening.
It has to be because people say groovy back then. I feel like it's all happening. Could it be something that a hippie said in the 60s?
Totally, yeah.
You know?
I'm trying to think of anything. Like I never said anything from Clueless because that's just way too specific.
It
I
is.
don't know.
Well,
I guess someone
as
else would have to
if.
tell
I
me.
think people say as if. We say as if
No,
sometimes.
I don't think. Do you
No?
think? I don't think I do, but I don't know. That's the thing is someone would have to tell me unless
Hmm.
I know that I'm saying it. I feel like I wouldn't remember that I'm saying it. Do you have any 90s moments?
I have two.
Cool. What are they?
Um, I have Violet. Is it Violets or
Yeah.
Violet?
So Violet.
Yeah. Violet short hair because it was very epic in the 90s. Everyone was like, Drew
True.
Barrymore did it, Michelle Williams did it.
I think
My
on Kelly Taylor.
yeah, what's up? Winona Ryder did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's cool. And Courtney's red sunnies and Julie's white and pink sunnies because they were thoroughly 90s.
Oh yeah, you're right. I
Like
have
Coco Rain had them, yeah.
cool. I just have two. One is three-way calling.
Oh yeah,
Super 90s.
that is true. That is
I
good.
love
Yeah, that's
that.
good.
And then it's also another one to Mean Girls. It's like the same thing as in Mean Girls when they're on three-way. I feel like
Yeah,
they totally just like ripped this movie and just made it like way more like not as dark.
they made it mainstream. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And the other one is Polaroid.
yeah, Polaroid. That totally
Super cool. But yeah, that's all I have. Guess what? You should like
cool.
and subscribe if you got this far because you know what? It's in the show notes. Just leave us a fucking message. Tell all
Yeah,
your friends
please.
to do it. I'm sure there's a film that you love in the catalog. And we're up to what, 30 or 31 now?
Oh wow,
We're
that's crazy.
knocking them down. We should
You
do,
got to do something for 100.
well, yeah, we should do something for 50 because 100 is going to be like a while.
Okay, yeah, 50. Okay, yeah.
We'll do like something special. I don't know. I told Jules yesterday, and I'm telling you and everyone out there listening that the next one that we all do together, which is Jules and Jai and myself, is going to be the documentary Hype on grunge music. Because
Yeah,
we're
and
bringing back
also we got to do the 50th one all together as well, the 50th episode.
50s episode. What do you mean?
Yeah, when you get to like the
Oh, the
50th
50th one.
episode.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I thought you meant like an episode on the 50s. I was like, what do you mean? Like the 1950s?
No, no,
I
no.
was like, what?
50th.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And also, we want to do Live Forever, the Britpop documentary too. So I'm gonna inject some more music into this because this is, we love the music. So people
Yay.
like the punk one too. That was a while ago. The punk attitude one we did.
Yeah,
So
no, I remember.
we talk about some more music. But yeah, it's been super fun as always. And we're at the end of the show here. Enjoy. Go watch Jawbreaker. Go watch it again. Go listen to the soundtrack. It's dope.
Yeah.
It's dope. But yeah, I will see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.